Overcoming English Language, Learning Anxiety and Fostering Students' Independent Learning for 2030 Using Edutainment and Generative AI. Initiative Goals. The AY 2025 application was developed as a continuation and expansion of our AY 2024 project. In the previous year, our work focused on exploring the potential of artificial intelligence in English language teaching and learning, while also examining practical examples of how such technologies could be introduced into educational settings. Through that work, however, it became clear that discussion of AI in education could not remain limited to technological potential alone. Feedback gathered during AY 2024 showed that alongside curiosity and interest, there was also considerable uncertainty and anxiety among both educators and learners. These concerns highlighted the need to move beyond simply asking what AI can do, and instead consider how it should be integrated in ways that are socially responsible, pedagogically meaningful, and supportive of all stakeholders. For this reason, the central goal of the AY 2025 project was to address the social and educational challenges that accompany the growing presence of AI in the classroom. As artificial intelligence becomes more embedded in everyday life, students and teachers are increasingly expected to engage with it. In higher education, this rapid technological shift has created both opportunities and tensions. AI offers new possibilities for personalized learning, improved access to feedback, and more active engagement with language study. At the same time, it raises important questions about educational quality, appropriate usage, motivation, assessment, curriculum design, and the role of the teacher. Our group recognized that these concerns were not abstract. Many educators expressed uncertainty about how AI should be used in language education, and some worried that the growing role of generative AI might weaken aspects of their professional expertise. At the same time, students were increasingly exposed to AI tools that could either support meaningful learning or, if used uncritically, encourage over-reliance and shortcut taking. This created an urgent need to rethink how AI is presented, understood, and incorporated into formal educational environments. Against this background, the AY 2025 project aimed to propose practical solutions that would support the smooth and appropriate integration of AI into university-level language curricula. Rather than focusing only on theory or experimentation, the project sought to respond directly to concerns emerging from educational practice. The intention was not simply to promote AI use, but to build a framework for responsible integration that would enhance student learning opportunities while also strengthening the professional identity of educators. A key aim of the project was to help teachers see AI not as a threat, but as a tool that can be used thoughtfully within well-designed pedagogical frameworks. This meant recognizing teachers as central decision makers in the integration process and emphasizing their continued importance in guiding, contextualizing, and evaluating learning. AI in this view should not replace educators, but support them in creating richer and more responsive learning experiences. At the same time, the project aimed to help students develop a more ethical, reflective, and productive relationship with AI. The growing availability of generative tools has made it easier than ever for students to obtain quick answers or bypass the intended learning process. As a result, one of the project's goals was to encourage students to use AI as a learning partner rather than as a shortcut. This required not only technical solutions, but also clearer guidance, better examples of appropriate usage, and educational interventions that foreground independence, critical thinking, and socially responsible engagement with technology. In this sense, AY 2025 marked an important shift in emphasis. While our group continued to lead the integration of generative AI into English language teaching and learning, the focus moved from a mainly research-driven approach to one that more directly addressed the pedagogical and social realities of implementation. The project sought to respond to current educational needs by exploring how AI can be introduced in ways that reduce anxiety, support professional development, improve student engagement, and contribute to sustainable curriculum innovation. Ultimately, the project aligned closely with the broader aims of the R 2030 initiative, particularly in fostering independent and collaborative learning, preparing students for a changing technological society, and supporting educators as they adapt to new realities in teaching and learning. Through this work, we hoped not only to examine AI in education, but also to help shape a more thoughtful, balanced, and human-centered approach to its use in university language education. Summary of initiatives. To achieve these goals, the project focused on several connected initiatives during AY 2025. Each initiative addressed a different challenge related to the integration of AI into language education, while also helping us build a more practical understanding of how AI can be used in responsible and meaningful ways. The first major initiative was the development and implementation of surveys to capture the perspectives of key stakeholders on AI in language learning and education. In particular, we aimed to gather the views of teachers, students, and, where possible, parents. The purpose was not only to find out whether people viewed AI positively or negatively, but also to understand the depth and nature of their concerns. We were especially interested in identifying where anxiety about AI was strongest and what kinds of support might be needed. These surveys were designed as a foundation for future action. Rather than treating them as an end in themselves, we saw them as a first step toward creating targeted interventions. For parents, one likely response will be the development of an accessible website explaining the role, benefits, and limits of AI in education. For educators, the survey findings are intended to support faculty development opportunities based on actual needs and concerns, with practical examples of curriculum integration that can reduce resistance and encourage innovation. The second major initiative was the continuation and expansion of the AI in Education One Day Conference, which had already proven successful in AY 2024. Feedback from the previous event showed that many participants were not mainly looking for formal research findings. Instead, they wanted practical information, concrete examples, and a clearer sense of how AI could be introduced safely and effectively into their own teaching. This highlighted an important gap, because although discussion around AI in education is increasing, there are still limited opportunities for educators to engage with the topic in ways that are directly relevant to classroom practice. In response, the AY 2025 conference was designed as a practical support platform for educators. By bringing together specialists and experienced practitioners, the event aimed to provide accessible and directly applicable guidance. The emphasis was placed on practical implementation, responsible use, and open discussion of concerns, rather than on highly technical or theoretical content. The conference also extended the reach of the project beyond the immediate research group by creating a space where educators could learn from one another, share concerns, and build confidence in AI-enhanced teaching. The third major initiative focused on the development of AI-based student support tools. One of the key concerns related to student AI use is that such tools may encourage shortcut taking and reduce meaningful engagement with learning tasks. This is especially important in language education, where the process of struggling, practicing, revising, and interacting is central to development. To address this issue, the project aimed to develop generative AI-based tools that function as authentic learning supports rather than shortcut mechanisms. The goal was to create tools that help students engage more deeply with language tasks, especially in areas where anxiety or a lack of confidence may limit participation. One area of particular interest was the integration of AI into English language courses to support students in improving their speaking or writing. A central principle behind this initiative was the ethical and socially responsible use of AI. We wanted students not only to use AI, but also to understand how to use it appropriately. By introducing AI as a tool for guided improvement rather than instant completion, the project aimed to help students build healthier learning habits and a more critical awareness of technology's role in education. Taken together, these initiatives reflect the broader direction of the AY 2025 project. The aim was not simply to promote AI adoption, but to create an environment in which AI can be integrated thoughtfully, ethically, and effectively, while also laying a stronger foundation for future work in AY 2026 and beyond. Implementation status in FY 2025. In FY 2025, the project made steady progress across its major initiatives. First, surveys were successfully developed to investigate perceptions of AI integration in language education. These surveys have already begun to be administered, and data collection is currently ongoing. As the results are still being compiled and analyzed, the findings will be examined further in AY 2026 and used to guide the next stage of the project. Second, the AI in Education One Day Conference was held successfully, building on the momentum of the previous year. The event attracted over 200 registered participants, joining either face-to-face or online, and featured several international speakers. Feedback from participants was highly positive, with many expressing a strong desire for more opportunities of this kind in the future. In order to extend the reach of the conference beyond the live event, the sessions were recorded and uploaded to YouTube, allowing a wider audience to benefit from the discussions and practical insights shared. Third, Based on the success of the AI agent experiment conducted in AY 2024, the project developed a new and enhanced AI agent designed to support students' speaking skills. Several experiments were carried out using this improved agent. These trials enabled the group to better understand both the strengths and limitations of this type of tool, while also highlighting its potential to help reduce students' anxiety when speaking English. Although the development of a writing-focused AI agent was also considered during FY 2025, the project team decided that it would be more effective to concentrate on speaking support this year. Other language skills, including writing, will be considered in future stages of the project. Results from FY 2025. Overall, the results from FY 2025 were positive and demonstrated meaningful progress toward the project's goals. The survey component has moved from the planning stage into active implementation. Surveys are now being conducted, and the results will soon become available. These findings will be important for future planning, particularly in identifying how students perceive AI and what kinds of concerns, expectations, or misunderstandings they may have. Although the original intention was to include elementary school students in this survey work, the project team decided to focus first on university students. By analyzing the university-level results, the team will be in a stronger position to refine the survey questions and adjust the content appropriately before extending the research to younger learners. The AI Agent Initiative also produced encouraging results. While testing has so far been limited to the initial stage and further development is still needed, the early findings suggest that the AI agent has strong potential as a tool for reducing anxiety related to speaking English. This is a particularly important outcome as speaking anxiety remains a major barrier for many language learners. The AI in Education One-Day Conference was another major success in FY 2025. With more than 200 participants registered across face-to-face and online formats, the event demonstrated continued and growing interest in the practical use of AI in education. The inclusion of several international speakers broadened the perspectives offered and contributed to the overall quality of the event. Participant feedback was very positive, and many attendees indicated that they would welcome further events of a similar nature. In addition, recording the conference and making it available on YouTube helped extend its impact, allowing those who could not attend live to still benefit from the sessions. This confirmed the value of the conference as both a professional development opportunity and a means of wider public engagement.